Well, today is finally Harry's golf cart time. You can see here the way everything's been wired. Just kind of haphazard and wires spread all over everywhere. And it is my guess at this point that ultimately is what caused the demise here of this thing not wanting to start anymore. So, got to get that other hubcap on there. Maybe. Maybe not. You want to go on there? We'll get it on there after a bit. It's an electrical issue. It's a no start. It won't crank, and it's because it keeps blowing a fuse. See if I can show you that fuse here. This fuse right here. But you see, we've just got willy-nilly wires going everywhere. So I'm going to bypass all of those wires and see if the golf cart perks up. But in the meantime, I need to charge the battery and take care of a couple other things before I actually dive into this. So it'll be a little bit for me, but it'll be just a second for you guys. Hang on. Alright, I kind of jumped ahead a little bit, sorry. First rule in working with electrical things is get you a tiny little hammer and peck on things. Ask any electrician. You got a starter that's not working? Peck on it with a hammer. Well, that's exactly what I did. And our starter is right here. And all I did was just peck on this tail cap here where the brushes are. And in doing that, the starter decided to free up and to continue working. So we've got the major hurdle taken care of, and then underneath here is where the choke cable attaches to. I was pulling that and it was awful loose. Well, the pin that goes through the butterfly just came out, was nowhere to be found, so I put a bolt with a lock nut on it. It's a really skinny one. 1024 I think is what it wound up being. So now we're ready to see if it's going to run. As far as all of this excess wiring, I'm going to get a hold of Harry and ask him how important it is to him that this thing's got lights and whatnot before I do it, just so that I can try to save him a little bit of money. But yeah, just pecking on that starter, that's all it took. And a lot of times that is all it takes. I've had bad starter generators and done the exact same thing. You're just knocking the carbon loose from the commutator, and it's allowing the brushes to do their job. So, and this battery's, whoops, that figures. At least it fell all the way through. This battery's a 2000, I saw it somewhere. Where did I see it? 2019, 3 years old. So putting a charge on it now. I don't know if it's going to take a charge or not. If it does, awesome. If not, we'll need to source another battery for Harry. And I know that he's got some. He's the one that I got this deep cycle right beside me off of, right there, the beast. So we've got everything reattached. Put the charger back on there, and I used oftentimes the digital chargers won't start charging if the battery's below a certain voltage. That doesn't care. It doesn't care at all. So I'm going to disconnect this battery here. I don't know if we've got enough charge on the battery to turn the engine over yet or not, but we'll find out shortly. this clip off of here. Ground goes to the back. The ground for the starter is right here where I'm pointing, right there. And then, I know I don't have the light on now, and then this other one is the charge. So this is a starter generator as well. This is a Yamaha single cylinder. I don't know how old the gas is, but we're going to find out. But let's see if it'll crank over under its own battery power. I haven't had the battery charger on long enough, I don't think, but let's see. I was getting a click here before. Fuse is still good. I was getting a click before. Let's put a jump pack on there and see if the jump pack will allow it to turn over. My motorcycle jump pack that sort of kind of made its way out here, and I need to remember when I take off on the motorcycle to put the jump pack in it. Last couple times I went out, I forgot. Alright, go ahead and get the battery charger off of there for a moment. And I had a click before indicating that it was trying to start. The starter solenoid's right there, but now I don't have a click. Not sure why. We'll find out. Get over here. And push the button until we got a green light. There's our green light. Let's see if we get a click now. Nope, no click. Well, I have to do some further troubleshooting because this was trying to fire the starter before. Now it's not. So let me dig in a little bit and show you guys what I find out when I get to it. Alright, gang. Got the starter squared away finally. What it wound up being, let me reach over here and grab the flashlight, was the ground wire, which is this black wire coming up here and going down to the back of the starter generator. The ground wire was not making good contact, so it was intermittent. It would try to crank and it wouldn't, then it'd try and then it wouldn't. But now it's doing what it's supposed to do. Now we have to turn our attention to the carburetor. I need to pull it off and clean it out. It is getting fuel, but it's not letting the fuel into the engine. So that's probably just from it sitting for a long time. It sat for quite a while before I got it. And then I did notice something else here. You guys see that? Yeah, that muffler is just slightly cracked away from the manifold. So may have to see what we can do about squaring that away too. To get that welder turned down low enough, we might be able to patch it. Looks like it's been patched once before, but we'll attempt it again. And as far as everything else goes, even the reverse beep works, which is annoying. So this contact here also needed a little bit of leaven, and negative battery terminal also needed a little bit of leaven. After you tap on things, then you just go through and loosen and then retighten, loosen and retighten, so that you're on a good positive or ground surface. And it doesn't help to have some dielectric grease to help you along the way. So I'm going to pull that carburetor off. It's a couple bolts and a bunch of linkage, and once we get that off of there, we'll get it over on the bench, take a look at it, and see how nasty it is. Because it is getting fuel. The fuel pump is doing its job. And it's a Briggs fuel pump. But let's get that carburetor off and over on the bench. Alright, we got the carburetor off, and these carburetors also have a plenum. Well, this plenum, that's probably why it wouldn't start for me, broke into 3 pieces. So I'll need to get one of those ordered. Here's the carburetor. It still has, I've got it kind of covered up here, hang on. It still has the stud that's supposed to be in the plenum in it. I took this bolt out and the carburetor just fell right out. I thought, well, that's not right. But go ahead and take it apart, go through it, see if we have anything major going on. I don't think we do, but let me get her set up, so hang on. Let's get her Pender style. Is that like Gangnam style? Alright. Now I did drained the fuel bowl with the carburetor on and got nothing but clean fuel, no water, so we were good there. The fuel bowl's full. Drop that out. It's not super full, is it? It's not too bad. There's just a little bit of sediment down in there, so we'll get that cleaned out. Get the float out, see how the I think we need the vampires for that. That or we need to punch it out. Well, we'll try this way. If it doesn't work, then we will grab a punch and punch it out. You guys see all right? Oh, I gotta love those vampires, huh? Yes, sirree. Alright, let's pop this jet over here out. It's a little sloppy. Get the next size up. That's better. Come on out of there. Okay, that's good and clear. Suppose I could bring the air over here. I like to use air on the carburetors quite a bit. There's our needle. Let's check that little Viton tip there, see how it feels. Yeah, still pliable enough. Let me grab the air. Air. Okay, just talked to Harry. He said just go ahead and do everything, rewire all the lights, because there's times when he'll be using it at night. So said just get whatever you need to get her going. I'm just going to blow through the fuel inlet hole right here so I can get a better look at that seat. I'm going to do it facing down in case there's a rubber seat in there, which there shouldn't be, that decides to fly out. So just a little bit of air. Let's get a light in there, see how it looks. Yeah, it looks okay. Seat looks alright. Now we've got another jet down in here. Knock it out. Such a nice day out. It's supposed to get up into the 80s. You can't lose that gasket. Okay, we are clear through the center. And we're clear through all those holes. They all look good. Pender style. I don't have the yellow cans though. Let's go this way. Should shoot out of a whole bunch of places. Ready? Hopefully I don't get the camera. There you go. The needle's fine. No need to put this one in the parts cleaner. Let's see how many turns that one needs to go out. Some Mikuni carburetor, by the way. Okay. Half. One. Half. 3/4. 1 3/4. We'll go ahead and pull that guy out of there. Got a little bitty ridge on it where it was tightened down just a little too much. If you guys can see that little bit of a ridge. It's not bad at all, so we'll run with it. We'll see what happens with it, rather. We've got another one right down here. I'll pop that out. I know you guys couldn't see that. I was holding it funny. We've got an itty bitty little hole down at the bottom and holes on the sides. Clear, clear, clear. Okay, the 3 holes in the side are clear. I'm just going to blow on it and see if the hole in the end there is clear. It's clear. Don't even need carb spray for that. Now I'm just going to go through and spray carb spray in all the areas where I just took metering screws and jets out. So it's going in. That's good. Go here. It's draining out. Good. Go ahead and go through the fuel inlet. Good. Nothing but a big gaping hole there, so no need to go there. And we'll go down here. And I don't know if you guys can see. It doesn't have the emulsion tube like the Hondas that you have to pop out. It's just everything is right there. So we're just going to blow through that big cavern right down in there and clean out any foreign material. And unfortunately, we can't throw this back on and start it because of that plenum being bad. So we'll go ahead and end part 1 here. Then I'm also going to order a junction block for the golf cart. And what the junction block will allow me to do is to run just one hot wire up to the dash, and then mount it behind the dash so that any accessories that Harry or future owners want to put on that golf cart, they'll have a junction block, so you won't have that big old snake of wires all over everywhere. So I'll probably just get a, I don't know, 5 or 6 terminal junction block just for that purpose. So horn can be connected to that, to the relay, and then back to the horn. And then front lights and rear lights, they're tied in, but the way that they were wired, we're gonna have to rethink that whole process too. But we're going to try to channel these wires in a way that there's no risk of them getting in harm's way. And once we get the wiring done and get this all put back together, Harry can come pick it up. I know you guys have been seeing it sit out there forever, and yes, I finally got to it. So I'm going to throw this back together. It's just in the reverse of what we took it apart. And when the new intake plenum comes in, we'll do a run test on the engine. I know that it runs. I dribbled fuel down the spark plug hole and it fired. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. So we're just going to call this part 1, and it may be a week or 2 before part 2, because I'll be at the mercy of the shipping and whatnot for getting the parts in that I need, and maybe even longer. So hopefully not, but I suppose I could clean the fuel bowl out. There we go. Okay. But we're going to call this part 1. Appreciate each and every single one of you stopping by to go for a little ride down this golf cart trek. And you guys can look forward to part 2. There'll be other videos coming in the interim. We do have some other repairs that need done almost constantly. So that's it. Friendly Neighborhood Zippo. I promise you guys, I will definitely be on the next one. We'll see you later.